Some people just have a bad attitude, finding something to complain about every moment of the day. And then there are wonderful people with a great outlook like Latoya Anderson.
I was taught to encourage people, and that doesn't mean just in church. It means when you're out in regular life, when nobody has a spotlight on you.
Latoya was a manager at the state's Division of Motor Vehicles, working in the driver's license office. Not an easy job.
Nobody likes to go to the driver's license office. Every single person hates it.
And one day, Latoya wanted to encourage her coworkers across the state, crafting this email that in part read,
I encourage you to smile. Even when you feel like crying on the inside, smile.
She went on to say, God sent me to tell you that you're chosen and you're awesome. Also writing, nothing is impossible with God. She then sent it to several hundred state employees and vendors in her email list. The responses poured in.
People were sending me responses, God bless you. This is the most inspired I have ever been since I've been working here.
As she went home that day, she felt great. The next day she came in and one of her bosses called her.
One of them said, why in the world did you send that email? I did it because people need to be encouraged, but you should have put it on Facebook and you should have left it at that.
She was then told to take a vacation. When she returned, she was handed this letter.
And the letter said that I was fired.
The letter didn't explain the reason for her firing, and Latoya says it's common for employees to send mass emails from their computers wishing people happy holidays and happy new year. But in her 21-line email, Latoya used God's name 4 times. She's convinced that's what got her fired. But when she asked her bosses if that was the reason, no one would give her any details.
I want to hear it from them. This is why you were fired. Because to be honest with you, there was no other valid reason.
Well, Howard, Latoya sent an email to state employees using a state computer, encouraging them and using the name of God. Is that a fireable offense?
As the head of a government agency, I would not fire someone for sending a positive message. Legally, though, sending a personal email from a government computer isn't personal, and therefore, the state has a right to fire you.
When we contacted the Division of Motor Vehicles, they told us they could not discuss Latoya's firing. We then got a personnel file from the state. Her termination letter didn't explain why she was fired, but another letter in the file says she sent an inappropriate email to several hundred members in all divisions. When we asked the state if using God's name is what made the email inappropriate, they told us, we will let her records speak for themselves. Then a few days later, the motor vehicle spokesperson called us again and said it was not the use of God's name, but sending the mass email to staff and vendors that was inappropriate and got Latoya fired. But Latoya is still convinced it was the use of God's name that got her terminated.
If she was fired for using the name of God in her email, it still is not protected free speech because she used a state computer, which would give some people the perception that the government agency had those beliefs. And so, again, they have a right to terminate her.
When Latoya was fired, her boss wrote she was very respectful. Not surprising, because she has that great attitude about life.
I am unemployed right now. Unemployed but looking. So if anybody needs an encourager, I am your girl.
Now, if you're looking for a bright, upbeat employee, Latoya's ready to work. Contact us if you want to talk to her. And the state says they didn't fire her for using God's name, but for sending a mass email. Latoya says that's strange because a lot of employees send mass emails. Oh well, she's moving on. Feel like you need some divine intervention to solve your problem? That's out of our range, but we do take emails, so contact us. We don't need a license to help you. We just love to do it. With this Help Me Howard, I'm Patrick Frazier, 7 News.